Welcome to RankLens. Today, we count down the top 10 most biodiverse countries on Earth. When it comes to Earth's living treasure trove, the competition is fierce. 10 nations stand out, each one a hotspot of evolution, adaptation, and jaw-dropping biodiversity. From towering mountain ranges to sprawling rainforests, from tropical islands to coral-laden seas, these countries harbor millions of species found nowhere else on the planet. As we count down, you'll discover which lands hold the most incredible concentrations of life. The rankings might shock you. One nation will claim the crown as Earth's biodiversity champion. Are you ready? Let's find out. At number 10, we have the United States. Spanning an incredible range of ecosystems, the continental landscape tells a story of ancient adaptation and geographic wonder. The contiguous USC stretches from temperate rainforest to subtropical swamp, meaning every zone from north to south has carved out its own evolutionary path. But here's where the US gets a biodiversity advantage: Hawaii. These islands, sitting in the middle of the Pacific Ocean in complete isolation, have sparked an exceptionally high rate of endemic species, creatures that exist nowhere else on Earth. Meanwhile, thousands of miles to the east, the Appalachian Mountains tell an even older story. Among Earth's ancient mountain ranges, the Appalachians harbor flora and fauna that have been evolving in place for millions of years. That deep time has created a reservoir of species found only in these ancient highlands. Coming up, an entry that might surprise you. At number 9, we have Ecuador. Size isn't everything, and Ecuador is living proof. One of South America's smallest nations punches way above its weight when it comes to biodiversity. This tiny country, nestled on the continent's western edge, contains an astonishing concentration of species. But the story doesn't end on the mainland. The Galapagos Islands, an Ecuadorian territory sitting nearly 1,000 kilometers offshore, are home to creatures found nowhere else in the world. These islands aren't just a tourist attraction. They're where Charles Darwin himself sailed in 1835 and observed finches and tortoises that ultimately inspired his revolutionary theory of natural selection. Deep in Ecuador's mainland rainforests lies the Yasuni National Park. Scientists consider it one of Earth's most biodiverse single patches, meaning square kilometer for square kilometer. Few places on the planet pack in more life. Ecuador's power isn't in size, it's in concentration. At number 8, we have India. Across the vast Indian subcontinent, biodiversity isn't concentrated in one place, it's woven throughout. The Western Ghats and Eastern Himalayas form two of Earth's most critical biodiversity hotspots, teeming with species found nowhere else. Looking toward India's northeast, where the border with Bangladesh blurs into something extraordinary, the Sundarbans. This is the world's largest mangrove forest, a vast network where tidal channels, dense roots, and shallow water create an ecosystem few places on Earth can match. And if you want to see what makes India's wildlife truly special, consider this: India shelters more wild tigers than any other country in the world. These apex predators represent both an evolutionary triumph and India's commitment to protecting its magnificent fauna. At number 7, we have Australia. Imagine an entire continent locked away from the rest of the world for 50 million years. That's Australia. Isolated as an island continent, cut off from other landmasses while evolution worked its magic, Australia became something unique on Earth. About 80% of Australia's flowering plants, mammals, and reptiles are endemic, found nowhere else. That's not a coincidence, that's the result of eons of separation. But Australia's biodiversity doesn't stop on land. Off its northeastern coast lies the Great Barrier Reef, the world's largest coral reef system, stretching over 2,000 kilometers. Within this underwater wilderness, thousands of fish species, mollusks, crustaceans, and other creatures create an ecosystem that rivals any rainforest in complexity. Australia is a laboratory of isolated evolution. At number 6, we have Mexico. Geography is destiny, and Mexico's position is everything. Sitting at the junction where the Nearctic realm of North America meets the Neotropical realm of Central and South America, Mexico is a collision point of two vast biological zones. Within its borders, nature's variety is staggering. You'll find scorching deserts in the north, towering cloud forests shrouded in mist on inland slopes, coral reefs fringing Caribbean and Pacific coasts, and mangrove swamps creating a mosaic of habitats. Each ecosystem supports distinct communities of life. And if there's one group that thrives in Mexico more than anywhere else, it's reptiles. Mexico leads the world in reptile species diversity: snakes, lizards, turtles, crocodilians, many found nowhere else on the planet. This reptilian abundance is a direct result of Mexico's geographic crossroads and endless ecological niches. At number 5, we have Peru. Few countries on Earth contain such dramatic vertical extremes. Peru stretches from the Amazon basin to Andean peaks soaring above 6,000 meters. And in that vertical journey, you pass through nearly every climate and ecosystem type on the planet. Each elevation zone has evolved its own distinct community of life. Deep within Peru's rainforests lies the Manu Biosphere Reserve, ranked among Earth's most species, rich protected areas for sheer concentration of biodiversity. But Peru's treasure doesn't end in the forests. Look to the coast, where the Humboldt Current rises from the deep ocean, bringing nutrient-rich cold water north from Antarctica. This current transforms Peru's coastline into one of the world's most productive marine ecosystems, teeming with fish, seabirds, and marine mammals. From deepest jungle to coldest currents, Peru is a nation of biological extremes. At number 4, we have Colombia. Imagine owning coastlines on two oceans. Colombia uniquely boasts both a Pacific Ocean and Caribbean Sea shoreline, meaning it connects to two different marine biogeographic systems. That dual access alone brings extraordinary variety. But the real magic happens inland, where the Colombian Andes create a towering spine of biodiversity. Here, elevation creates countless ecological niches. And in the Colombian Andes, something remarkable happens. More bird species nest and breed here than in any other country on Earth. Colombia is a birder's paradise, a sanctuary for raptors, hummingbirds, parrots, and thousands of other species. Now, you might think such diversity requires a vast landmass, but Colombia proves size isn't everything. Despite being significantly smaller than some other contenders, Colombia rivals even larger nations when you measure species variety per square kilometer. That's an exceptional concentration of life. At number 3, we have China. Within a single nation lies almost every terrestrial habitat Earth has to offer. China's topography ranges from tropical rainforest in the south to cold desert in the west, creating a mosaic of ecosystems that few countries can match. But not all of China's regions are equally biodiverse. Two areas stand out: the Tibetan Plateau, soaring above 4,000 meters and home to species adapted to thin air and cold, and Yunnan Province in the southwest, where mountains meet tropical zones. Together, these two regions shelter an outsized share of China's entire biodiversity, a concentration that makes them among Earth's most significant conservation frontiers. But here's the symbol everyone knows: the giant panda. Endemic to the mountains of central China, the giant panda has become the world's most iconic emblem of conservation. Its image represents not just China's unique wildlife, but the global commitment to protecting endangered species. At number 2, we have Indonesia. With over 17,000 islands scattered across thousands of kilometers, Indonesia is Earth's greatest archipelago. These islands aren't just beautiful, they're a bridge between two worlds. Indonesia uniquely connects the Asian and Australasian biogeographic zones, meaning wildlife from both regions mingles here, creating hybrid ecosystems found nowhere else. But Indonesia's true superpower is in the water. At the heart of the Coral Triangle, Indonesia sits at the planet's most marine biodiverse region. The Coral Triangle contains more coral species, reef fish, and marine biodiversity than any other patch of ocean on Earth. On land, Borneo and Sumatra tell their own story. These two islands alone shelter hundreds of species found nowhere else: orangutans, rhinoceroses, sun bears, and countless others. Indonesia is where two biological worlds collide. Coming up, the planet's biodiversity champion. At number 1, we have Brazil. If Earth has a heart, it beats in the Amazon. The Amazon rainforest, covering much of northern Brazil, is the world's largest tropical forest, an engine that generates its own weather and produces a fifth of the world's oxygen. But Brazil's biodiversity extends far beyond the Amazon. This nation encompasses multiple major biomes, each teeming with life. In the northeast lies the Caatinga, semi-arid scrubland, with species specially adapted to harsh, dry conditions. The Atlantic rainforest in the southeast, though smaller than the Amazon, is equally biodiverse and critically endangered, but the crown jewel might be the Pantanal in the center-west, the world's largest tropical wetland. The Pantanal covers an area larger than England, and nearly all of it lies within Brazil's borders. During flood season, it becomes a concentration of life so dense that few places on the planet can match it. Brazil doesn't just lead the world, it defines what biodiversity means. These 10 nations hold the keys to Earth's biological future. They're not repositories of species. They're places where ecosystems function at their most complex, where evolution and adaptation continue to unfold. Protecting their biodiversity protects the genetic library all life depends on. But these nations face mounting pressure, habitat loss, climate change, illegal trade, all threaten species daily. Many species found within these borders exist nowhere else on the planet. When we lose them forever. The biodiversity of these nations matters to all of us because we all depend on Earth's living systems. They are the pulse of our planet, and their survival is our responsibility. And that's the top 10 most biodiverse countries on Earth. If you enjoyed this countdown, subscribe to RankLens for more.